So I'm a bit emotional at the moment because what I realize is, well, I used to be a weed smoker for more than a decade, and it takes time to catch up with all of this lost time, brain wise, like emotionally speaking, processing stuff, it just takes time to catch up with that. And sometimes there are days where it all just keeps, like, it seems like it's been bottled up and it just comes out, and I want to cry. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I just want to share what I realize about it, because it's not only the weed, right? It's all of these distractions in general. Like, I still like to watch anime and things like that. I still like to watch YouTube for entertainment purposes, but more and more I feel this urge to do things that I wanted to do when I was younger. And I think, the less you distract yourself, the more clear things become. And now it's clear to me that I've been suppressing this for so long that it just makes me hate everything. Like, it just makes me hate whatever's going on right now. Like, the more we distract ourselves, the more we forget who we are, what we want, so many things, like even our standards. And it's crazy to think back at how many times I was deluding myself that, oh, I'm all right, I'm okay with this mediocrity. And then other times I get so fucking upset, man. Because I'm like, how could I have forsaken myself for so long? And it's also painful to have high standards as a person, because it means a lot of times you're left with that. There's not many people who have high standards. And it's frustrating. And you look at other people ruining their lives even more than you ruin your own life. And I cannot stand it to do it to myself. So how do you think it feels like to look at other people doing that? And it's a serious thing, because I had to cut people out of my life, or like just stop talking to them, even family members, because when you want to help people and they hate you for it. So I'm not doing it anymore. It's just so many signs telling me that, hey, you need to look at your own life. And by doing that, I can help other people. At least that's what I'm hoping. I know I sound like a whiny bitch if I say, oh, nobody's watching my YouTube, nobody's this, nobody's that. Who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I know nobody cares. But sometimes I just feel like saying it still, because I think it's valid to express that I'm so upset at the superficiality that's going on nowadays. And I know there are a lot of people like me. I know that there are a lot of people like me. People are neurodivergent in any type of way. Maybe it's not the typical autism or something. Maybe it's high IQ. It's not easy. People say, oh yeah, I wish I was smart. I wish I was this. It doesn't mean your life is going to be better. Like, oh yeah, I look good, all of these things, great. You know what pressure I feel to keep it up? You know what pressure I feel to look a certain way, and I'm sick of it. I really am. Some days I just wanna like have no makeup and just go on a camera and just talk however I want, but I'm like, I'm not making sense. I'm not being coherent. Everybody's writing scripts. I need to write scripts. I don't have time to write scripts. I have so many things that I do, so many things I want to do. And this is like, I just want to be authentic. I just want to be real. But it seems like it's not wanted. And that's upsetting. It's so upsetting. And I'm upset at myself. I'm upset at myself. Because I'm like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have just started earlier with whatever I want to do. It doesn't matter what. If it's YouTube or social media or investing or saving or working on myself, like, and I know I know it's stupid, right? I know it's stupid. Like live in the present moment, live in the present moment. And I want to share this because this is what it is. Even after you feel like, oh, I had enlightenment experiences and I understand the world on a deep level and I'm clairvoyant and all of these things, and it doesn't fucking matter because we still have to integrate. We still have to live in this world, in this 3D world, and make sense of it. You could say it's a first world problem, but it's still a problem. Like I just lost it because it's been so many things adding up, so many things adding up, and I'm gonna show you actually what I made today. I'm actually proud of myself, but just let me get to the point. I made this kimono today. It's like a knit fabric thing. I know, not giving it justice now, but whatever. It's not about that. It's just that I'm looking for a black one, and I can't, like, black fabric to make it. And I can't find it for the life of God. I can't find it. It's all polyester. It's all cotton mixed with polyester, and I don't want that shit. I don't want that. I don't want to promote that. I really care about sustainability, and this just makes me so fucking upset because I'm like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everybody just wants to consume bullshit, put shit into their body, sell shit, so you don't even have an option to do something good for the planet, even if you want to, right? If I'm not some big like company, if I don't spend all of my savings right now, what? I just can't do what I want to do. And yeah, I'm upset. I'm being a brat about it, maybe. But you know what? I feel like this needs to happen. And I'm not talking just about myself. I'm talking about anybody who's going through wanting to change their life, because you're gonna notice that it's a lot of things to overcome. And I'm not saying I'm trying, right? I'm trying. But that also involves like getting through these things, like being honest with yourself. 95% cotton, 5% spandex. This is 100% cotton. Now I could buy something and like color it myself, but that washes out. And my cat is going crazy because he needs to eat his medication. Like I put it in his food and he's not eating it. It's just so many things today. That's just like, I feel like I'm gonna lose my job maybe. And I have skills that are valuable, but it takes time to build that up. It takes time. Like, yeah, I can make my clothes, I can have my fashion brand, it's not like I can't do anything. It's just nobody's just gonna hand me like £1,000 a month right now just because they can do these things, you know? Yeah, I don't know what's the point now. Probably nobody's watching anyway, so I can just do what I want. I feel like that's the thing, like I just should do what I want. And I don't want to rant the whole time, but some days, I think these feelings are there because it pushes us, to actually have the drive to do something. You know what I mean? Yeah, maybe I don't need a black on. Maybe I don't need a black one. I can just use something else. Yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna use a different fabric. See, problem solved. That's how easy it is sometimes. But yeah, I feel like these feelings and these moments come because, and usually we run away from it. Usually we numb ourselves. But we're always gonna come back to this point and we're gonna feel even worse. The more time passes, the older we get, the more we deny ourselves what we actually want, what we're actually here to do. We all have a purpose, but the world is made up of just distraction and pleasure. It's all like pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. You know what I really hate? It's so random, yeah, but you know what I really hate is when, what was it that I was eating? I was eating something healthy. Okay, it was, I don't, what was it? What was it? Okay, it doesn't matter. But some kid, and it's not only kids, it's the parents as well, right? And it's the parents who raise these kids. They're like, look at it and they're like, what is that? Or like, I wouldn't eat that and stuff. And I'm like, have you tried it? No. Like, you sound dumb. Like, why are people like this? If I hand them a bag of crisps or chips, whatever Americans want to call it, and it has a bunch of chemicals, it has so much fat, it has so many calories, and it doesn't fill you at all, and I hand that to anybody, they would say, oh yeah, gobble gobble, they eat it up, and I'm like, you eat that chemical shit, and if you look at something healthy, you're like, ew, ew. What is wrong with people? It makes me sick, it really does make me sick. And that's why I don't want to be too mean and abrasive. I don't want to be too aggressive. But sometimes people ask me, how do you keep in shape? It's because I don't put shit into my body. And they all give excuses and okay. I'm just, you know, it's because I really want people. I came from a really shit place in my life. And I've come a long way. I've come a long way. If I didn't believe in my values, that they're right, that they're correct, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be alive. And all of these things I'm talking about, the more research I do, the more I realize that I'm on the right path. I just don't want to be alone with it. I want more people to be with me on this path. I can't stand seeing people I love destroying their bodies, destroying their mind, being shit to themselves, caring so much about what other people think about them. so that they waste away their lives, they waste away their years, they waste away everything. Everything. This one life that you have, we have no idea what happens after we die, right? I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God, whatever you want to call it, the universe, I don't care what you want to call it. But there's no guarantee that we're even going to be the same thing, like, you know what I mean, with the same memories and us, right? Maybe we're going to be some kind of different entity, whatever, spirit, whatever it is. So all we have is this experience, right? But people just act like they will never die. And I'm really sick of it, because it's sad. It's sad. And it took something for me not to become this way. Like, yeah, okay, I was never obese, okay, all of these things, but I was an addict, and I could have been addicted to other things as well. And I really restrained myself from it, because I'm thinking about the big picture. I'm thinking about the future. People say, oh, be in the present, be in the present. That's true to a degree, but if you're only in the present, and if you're like, well, if I take this drug now, I'm enjoying the present moment, right? But what about tomorrow? What about the more you do it, the more you want to do it? What about how that changes your life? Like, yeah, the things we do now on a daily basis affect our future, 100%. But there's a toxic way of thinking about being in the present, you know what I mean? I also made that mistake, like, I think, maybe this relationship, for example, something's wrong with it. And I can't put my finger on it. I can't really put my finger on it. But let's just go along with it, right? Because present moment, let me just enjoy the moment. At least it feels good in the moment. And now I'm like thinking to myself, like, how stupid was I? Because then people do whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it ends badly, and you're like, why? Why did I even go into this? Why? Why? I don't know. I'm usually very chill, but I'm only chill because I let these things out. Somebody who pretends that they're never passionate or angry, upset, something's wrong with them. Something's wrong with them. I'm telling you, all of these people I've met, they're weird. There's something wrong with them, and then they end up doing something really, I don't want to even talk about it. It's not right. You can't suppress things and get away with it. Like, you can't suppress things and have a good life. It's true. It doesn't work. The only people I've seen who are actually overall happy with their lives, they accept things. They accept things. But that doesn't mean that you can't feel. You have to feel, right? You can't suppress stuff. You have to first accept what that is there and deal with it. And yeah, there are better ways to deal with it than others, and people may not like my way of dealing with it. Okay. But I'm still gonna upload this fucking video because fuck. And I haven't cussed in so long as well, for some reason. I don't know. The world has been changing in these last few years, and it's going to change. And I'm actually happy about it, because it seems like things I actually care about matter more and more because of AI. So now we need things that AI can't do, and AI can't do what I'm talking about. AI can't replace anything I'm talking about and tell you the things I'm talking about. AI is just going to tell you to go out and take a walk, talk to somebody you care. And these things are correct. I'm not saying they're wrong. But like people are so complicated, and sometimes you have these weird days where it's like you feel like how I feel. And you're just so sick of it. It's just things that have been adding up, and I'm like, it's people, man. It's people. It's people. I'm like, why? Why can't you have empathy? Why? Why do I feel like I have to feel like I'm sensitive? Because other people they couldn't care less. And that's why I'm sensitive. Because they don't wanna take my feelings into consideration or anybody else's. You know? People just want the easy way. People just want pleasure. People just want, you know. I may have some selfish intentions in a way. Like, I don't want to see other people suffer because it makes me feel bad. But is that a bad thing to want people to feel good? No, right? So there's a way of doing things. You get me? There's a way of doing things. We have to accept that we're people, we're human. We have to accept these things. Like, I never wanted to be like, that's why I keep changing my name on YouTube the whole time, because I don't want to be this person who's like, oh, I'm a spiritual person and everything is good and positivity and this and that, and I have to look a certain way and dress a certain way and talk a certain way and use certain phrases. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these pretentious people. And don't even get me started on these people who like take from so many cultures, like my culture. And I'm a mixed person, so okay, maybe it's a bit complicated if we start talking about these things, but it's always a certain look where when these people take from other spiritual teachings and they present these things on YouTube, for example, everybody just takes them seriously and it's like, oh yeah, yeah. I have a friend and she literally went to a medium or something. Mind you, I see so many things, I feel so many things that other people can't even imagine. And sometimes I really try, I don't know if I should present myself that way, if I should say, oh, I'm a shaman, I'm this and that, but I just don't like these things, you know. I don't like to present myself that way. I'm not, I may come off as arrogant, but I'm not actually arrogant. I don't feel like I have to say it because if you watch my videos, you know. But anyways, confidence and arrogance is not the same thing, right? So I know what I'm talking about when I tell you that this woman was fooled. This medium told her, this scammer told her. Like, she was with a guy who literally dragged her through the mud and took advantage of her at her old age, okay? He's literally such a disgusting human being and she's such a pure woman. It's just a mismatch. It's just like, if you hear about these things, you're like, please don't talk to this person. You're gonna get an STD or something because, you know, and you don't deserve it. Because I know you're not fooling around. If you get an STD, it's because of this guy, because that's the only guy you're fooling around with. But he's disgusting. So anyways, this medium was like, in your former life, you killed him and this and that. Look, I have I have a similar experience as well with one of my exes. I know there was something in our past. I know there's something spiritual going on. Like we were at war or something, even in another dimension or whatever, far past life, whatever you want to call it, because these things are very, it's not really comprehensible for the human mind. So let's just say past life, even if that's not really what it is, but it's too much for this video. So what she did with this information is the issue, because she apologized to him like she never did anything wrong to this guy. Like she's giving him a boob job, hand job, all of these things. He doesn't deserve any of these things. She's not supposed to do anything with this person. She's not supposed to be in the same vicinity, in the same space, in the same area, in the same country. But whatever, she's apologizing. She's apologizing. Oh my God, the spiritual gaslighting. And this woman, she's like, I love her. She's really my friend. She's my spiritual sister. And she's like, she sees my gifts. She acknowledges them sometimes. She's so much older than me, and she says, I'm really, really wise, Like I'm doing things now that she's starting to work on. And that's crazy to me. Like she's nearly 60. But then when I tell her to be careful with this woman, it's like she doesn't hear me, And I've been calling out some evil spiritual stuff and things like that. Like you can call me corny for talking about demons, but I'm forever gonna call these things demonic because they are. Like people are possessed, If you are very negative in any type of way, like let's say you really hate yourself, that becomes like a spiritual thing. And my battery is 5%, so I'm gonna stop in a minute. It's like a demonic attachment. It's an attachment. You can scratch the demonic, you can say mental health problem. It doesn't really matter what you call it, but it's real. And we need to deal with these things, So yeah, I don't know. I'm just sick of people being like, I wish I could just shake people awake and tell them, please, you don't have to do the most. You don't have to do the most, but don't forsake yourself. There's so much behind your desires. And coping your way through it and having excuses and blaming the world is gonna... This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I don't believe in hell and heaven in the afterlife, really. I believe these things happen here and now. So if you wanna create your own hell, that's the way to do it. Cope your way through life. Tell yourself it's all about other people. Everybody else is the issue. Society is the issue. Everybody's out to get you. And I've been saying some valid things about humans that are very flawed. And they're true. People are very flawed. But that's not an excuse to be a victim, right? We have to take things in our own hand. We have to bring out the inner fighter in us and get some resilience and actually be a voice in this world, right? Have some impact, leave something behind. So that's all. That's all I care about. Have a good day. I love you. Have a good day.